Now on Spreaker Online and Podcast Radio we have live cricket commentary. Here with the teams, scores and descriptions of play is Matthew James Erskine.
Hello there and welcome back here to Prior's Flat after our short break here on Cricket West Tyne on Spreaker Internet Radio. Shotley Bridge are bowling here and Tynedale are chasing 170 to win. Current score 77 for no wicket, and they still need 93 to win. But the most important fact here, I think, is that they've still got 10 wickets still standing. Tom Cant, the captain, has moved to his second 50 of the season. He's 58 not out, and Dan Parker at the other end, who has played a supporting role here more or less this afternoon. He's 13 not out, and he's not on strike at the minute, and it's going to be Phillips who's going to bowl to Cant, and that's short, and Cant just defends it down just in front of square there on the offside, and there's no run. And Cant, he's given 1 or 2 or 3 chances this afternoon and they haven't been taken, so I think we can safely say that for the first time this season, the run of luck, the best of luck, has gone to Tom Cant. But a couple of field changes here. We've got a slip in the gully, now we've got a deep square leg as well. We've got a deep cover point out to the house end side there, across to our right. Phillips again bowls to Cant, and that one kept low, and a no ball called there from umpire Robertson. So we'll have to have that one again. One more to the total there, goes to 78 for no wicket, and the deficit now comes down to 92 needed. We're in the 20th over here, so 30 to go after this one. Lewis Hall looks as if he might just have a turn of the arm over there. He's having a bit of practice, but we'll have to see. But here's Phillips now, right arm over the wicket, comes in and bowls to Cant, and that's hit his pad and he's out. He's been given out LBW. And just as we've come back on the air here, Tynedale have lost their captain, the first wicket to fall, and it's Phillips who's got him. Cut back in on him there. It didn't seem to come a long way, and height-wise it must have been right on the knee roll, but he tried to get the bat across, but no forward movement, and it hit him right in front according to the umpire, and Tom Cant is out LBW for a very well made 58, and just to reiterate, he's gone past 4,500 runs for Tynedale now. The applause there, if you just heard it on the mic, was for Cant going off to the dressing rooms. So Tynedale it is, who have lost their first wicket here. 78 for 1 now. They still need 92 to win here, and there's 30 overs to go after this one. And the wicket fell there at 78. So 1 for 78 Tynedale. And the new batsman going out there now is the right-handed Fletcher, Ollie Fletcher. 115 runs, 9 innings for the first team this season. 47 his highest score. He's just taking his guard now, so we've got 2 slips and a gully as Phillips charges in again to the new bat here, and Fletcher's forward straight away and plays a solid defensive stroke out there to extra cover, and there's no run. So 78 for 1 Tynedale. And Parker up there, unmoved, still looks his concentrated self, just standing with his bat leaning on the ground there, just having a look around. He just looks away over by the scoreboard there, but now he backs up as Phillips comes in to bowl, and that's turned round the corner by Fletcher up towards the deep square boundary. That's fielded now, they're coming back for 2, and it's thrown in to the wicketkeeper's end. This near end to us, so the score moves there to 80 for no wicket. Fletcher's off the mark with a couple, and the deficit now comes down to 90 needed for Tynedale, with 9 wickets still in hand here. And that is back up the top end now with Phillips's. He's about to turn to come into bowl. Still no sun here, still got the breeze here at Prior's Flat. It's very warm outside though, quite warm although. Phillips in the ball now, and it's played. That's a nicely played shot from Fletcher. There's a run here through the gap between cover point there and extra cover for the right-hander to the right, and he gets a single. So 81 for 1 now. Fletcher's moved to 3. The deficit comes down now to 89. We've got a drinks break approaching in about 5 overs time. And that was the end of the over. So Tynedale needing 170 to win, 81 for 1. They still require another 89 in the 30 overs left here. So Parker's going to bat now. He's on strike, left-handed. 1 slip and a gully, a fine leg down here as well. Mid-off, mid-on. In place, Phillips bowls down the leg side, and a pull shot attempted from Parker there, and he misses, and Andrews doesn't take it safely, and signalled by the umpire there. So the score moves to 82, and the deficit comes down now to 88. So 88 needed for Tynedale to win, and that's the end of the over. This time, I think I give it too early there. So the end of the over definitely now is 88 needed by Tynedale, and it's 82 for 1. And it's 30 overs to go now, and it will be May to continue bowling here, and right arm over the wicket, fast bowler, and he starts his run up. He's at the start of his run up right on the edge of the 30-yard circle, and in he goes again now to bowl round the wicket, this time to Parker, and Parker defends this one out to the offside, and there's no run. It goes there to extra cover, and Parker just backs off towards the square leg. Umpire Peter Robertson, who's standing very deep there, he's having a chat to one of the Shotley fielders at the minute. I just can't quite see from here who it is, but we've got 2 slips, a wideish gully, a deep point right on the house end there, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a square leg and a fine leg. May around the wicket again now, bowling to Parker, who comes forward and drives. He'll get 4 for that shot. Hit hard, and it bounced up and flew past the right hand of extra cover there, out to the right hand side, up to the picnic tables there for 4 runs. So Parker moves to 17, and the score goes to 86 for 1 now, Tynedale. 84 now to win.
It's 86 for
and
86 for 1,
here we go. We've got May again about to bowl, and he's down at this end. He's about to go in, and here's Parker again now, who is about to receive this one. So May around the wicket, passed on by Allen, bowls, and it's full on the stumps there, and Parker just hits it out to the offside, and it's fielded there in at extra cover off the ground, and there's no run again. Somebody, if you just heard a couple of voices on the microphone there, somebody ringing up for the score here at Prior's Flat. So just a pre-warning here, at the end of the over we'll just go to one of our advertisers, and we'll be straight back. We'll play our advertising jingle here at the end of this over. But May's about to move in again now to bowl around the wicket to Parker with 2 slips. They go down as May bowls, and that one's slid off the face, and it's beat the deepish gully, and it's running up towards the backward point boundary, but it's fielded now by Rowley and thrown into Andrews at the top end there. So a single there to Parker. He goes to 18. The score goes along to 87, and now it's 83 now for Tynedale to win. 83 to win, and May will come back over the wicket here, and he'll be bowling to Fletcher, the right-hander, who's 3 not out. There'll be 2 slips, a gully, a third man, a deep point, an extra cover, a gully in there as well. Close in as May over the wicket now, and bowls to Fletcher, and nice shot, and that's running up for 4 up to the long leg boundary, and May just slipping off down the leg side there, and Fletcher just helped it on its way. Hardly just a flick of the wrists there, and it whistled up towards the right into the top corner behind one of the seats up there, and into the fence, the protective fence. So 4 more to the total. It's gone to 91 now, and the deficit comes down now to 79 needed by Tynedale. 79 Tynedale need here, and we're still in the 21st over here. In fact, I think this might be the 22nd. We'll have to find out. I'll update you as soon as the scoreboard at the end of the over, once we've had our little advert jingle. But Mayor bowling to Fletcher again, and he lets this one outside the off stump, and it goes through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. That's the end of the over. Tynedale 91 for 1. They still need 79 to win here. That was the end of the 22nd, I assume, but I'll let you know when I get back. We'll be back in just a minute here on Cricket West Tyne.
Listening to Cricket West Tyne program on Spreaker Online and Podcast Radio in association with the Royal Oak Country Pub, Cornsey Colliery, experts in business consultancy, and Cannon Bristle and Dairy Products. Drink well, eat well, do business well, listen well.
And welcome back here to Prior's Flat. So we're 91 for 1. Umpire Robertson is just holding Phillips back at the moment. Parker on strike, 2 slips and a deepish backward point there, or a slip and a gully, about a 4th slip there as Phillips in over the wicket to Parker, and he's put it through the gap there between gully and backward point. There's runs, they've got 2 so far. It's fielded now over by the tennis courts in the near third of the pitch to us here. To our left, and 2 more added to the total there. That takes to 93 for 1 now, and it comes down now to 77 the deficit. Tynedale 77 to win, and we've got a drinks break on the way soon enough after 25. But here's Phillips again now. Trundles up, and there's Parker, who plays the same shot again but doesn't get quite as fine this time, and it's fielded off the ground there. I think it's Milburn in there at backward point, and he picks up and throws it round the field there, so no runs. The ball up there with Ross Burden at the minute. He gives it back to Phillips up there at the top end now as he turns at the end of his run. We've got a fine leg down here, which is May. And in he comes now, Phillips bowling on the stumps this time, and Parker's forward and pushes it, plays from the crease and pushes it out onto the offside, and there's no run, so it's still 93 for 1. 22nd over, Shotley Bridge 169 for 9 in their innings. Greg Patterson it was, 46. Caught Parker bowled Percival, pulling a shot out to the deep square boundary, who highest scored for Shotley Bridge. But here's Phillips again. It's full this time, and Parker misses it outside the off stump, and Andrews, it bounces off his right hand there, and they come through for a bye. Was it there? I think it was. So the score has gone to 94 anyway, 94 for 1. Didn't see umpire Robertson signal a bye there, and now the deficit is down to 74 to win, 76 to win for Tynedale. 76 needed here, and Parker did move with that shot. He's gone to 21 now as Fletcher's on strike, and he just plays this one out to the offside. No ball called there by umpire Robertson, so the score moves to 95. And the deficit comes down to 75 now, needed by Tynedale. So Phillips will have to bowl that one again from the top end. We've got 2 slips now in place. We've got a gully. We've got a point, a cover point. We've got an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a mid-wicket. But Phillips to Fletcher, and he's pulled this one, and that'll be making its way up towards the boundary. He hasn't timed it very well, but they've got 2 now. He got enough on it to get it over the head of the fielder there at mid-wicket up towards the scoreboard, or just to its left, and he gets 2 runs at the end of that play there. So 97 now for 1 Tynedale, and the deficit comes down to 73 needed. Yeah, 1 wicket out. That was Kant, LBW, for 58. And umpire Robertson now just leans forward as he always does as Phillips is about to bowl. To Fletcher again now. In he comes. He bowls now, and Fletcher's played and missed outside the off stump that time, and that couldn't have been far away. And just a burst of energy off the last ball there from Phillips. And so at the end of that one, it's Tynedale still needing 170 to win, or 97 for 1. They still need another 73. Fletcher not out 9, 21 to Dan Parker. And we've got a change of bowling at this end. May has been taken off, and Greenwell's going to bring on Jack Rowley, the left arm spinner. And he's going to bowl from this near end to us, so he'll be running away from our position here, and he's going to bowl to Dan Parker. And he'll come round the wicket, will he, or over the wicket? Fletcher's standing on the offside at the minute, so he's going to have to move across in just a moment when somebody finally spots that he's on the wrong side. So yes, Fletcher's just on the move now. He's just asked the umpire there whether he's coming over or around the wicket, and he'll be coming over the wicket to the left-handed Parker because he's left arm himself. So here he comes, big sturdy looking lad. He's not that old actually, he may not be 20 yet, but in he goes now and bowls, and that one just turns a little fraction there, and Parker just has to push it off his hip up the short fine leg, and there's no run. Got some bounce as well, he's quite tall, so it was flighted up that one, but here he comes, and he goes for his second ball now. Shorter this time, and Parker pulls it away, and that'll be 4. I don't think Burden will catch that one. They've run 2. Now I'm changing my mind a bit, but has it gone? No, they'll come back for 3. It's a good chase from Burden there, and he gets after it, and he throws it in now. So yes, out to the long corner there, up by the tennis pavilion. So yeah, a good chase from Ross Burden. And it's 100 up for Tynedale, 3 more to the total there, so 70 to win now for the home side. 100 for 1, Parker's gone to 24, but it's Fletcher on strike now with 1 slip in place. Rowley around the wicket this time. Bowls to Fletcher on a good length and on the stumps, and Fletcher's just defends it out to Greenwell in at extra cover there. So I think it's Hall in the slips there. We've got a short fine leg and a deep square leg, as Fletcher just eases that one behind square on the offside this time, but it's fielded there at short third man. Still no sun back here, still got this overcast cloud. It's quite high though, the light's alright, and the weather is too. It's alright at the minute. So Rowley's in again now to Fletcher, and this one forces him back into his crease, and he just plays square on the offside again, and there's no run. So here we go, here's Fletcher again now, facing up to Rowley. Stacey Lavery alongside me here. On my right is Rowley. He's stumped him, has he? No. And that one just turned, it went straight to him, it went with the arm, that one from Rowley, and Fletcher came down, and his bat was away from his body, and he paid a big drive, the bat coming right through, and he missed it. And it was Andrews who took the ball slightly on the leg side there and took the bails off, but Fletcher was, fortunately for him and Tynedale, he was back in his crease there. So that was the end of the over anyway, and umpire Robertson now makes his way in, and umpire Allen makes his way out to square leg, and it's Parker on strike. So Tynedale 100 for 1, 70 to win now for the home side here. Parker not out 24. Fletcher at the end of that one, 9 not out. We're going to have 1 slip and a gully in there, a deepish backward point. He's going right to the boundary. We've got a fine leg in as well. We've got a deep square leg as Phillips comes in now, bowling over the wicket to Parker, and he's pushed that one out to mid wicket that time, and it's May who collects. And there's no run, so we got this deep square leg there. We've got a mid wicket, which is May, got a mid off and a deep mid on. A deep mid off to Burden up there. He's quite well back towards the edge of the 30-yard circle. We've got an extra cover, and we've got a big gap between there and deep backward point across to the tennis courts. But here's Phillips again now, sets off towards us, bowling to Parker. Parker's forward, he's edged it, does he? No, she went forward there, and that one moved away. You could see the movement in the air after it left the pitch there from the ball, and Andrews took it about tummy height there. It was quick, and it did. He put every ounce of energy into that one, did Phillips, and Parker was forward, and he didn't drive at it, which is probably just as well. He didn't push at it, just held his bat down the line there, and it left him. But here's Phillips again. He tried the same ball again there, tried to slant it across Parker, but it was fuller this time, and the ball runs up there to Parker, hits it, and it runs up to a wide mid-on where it's fielded, and there's no run. So still 100 for 1 here, 70 to win for Tynedale. 24th over this one. Drinks break coming up after the next over. Did you hear that, Miss Lavery? Drinks break after the next one. Here we go. Here's Phillips in now to Parker, and he lays this one down into the ground. A misfield there at Gully. And Allen there it was, who slipped over the top of that one, and it allows Parker a single there. So he's gone to 25, and the score goes to 101 for 1 Tynedale, and it's 69 they need now. 69 to win the home side here. Fletcher on the strike, one slip in place just now, got a deep square leg. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Must have a fine leg in there as well. As in comes Phillips, and Fletcher defends. So we've got a slip, a gully, a point, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket, a deep square leg. And I think we must have a fine leg round the corner there. Just out of sight of us down on the boundary. So here's Phillips again, just about to the end of his mark up at the top there. Running away from Corbridge as he comes towards us. Bowling to Fletcher. Fletcher's back into his crease and defends that one down from above his waist into the offside, and it's picked up by May there in at extra cover, and there's no run. End of the over there. 101 for 1 Tynedale. They still need another 69 to win this one. 24 overs gone now. And Parker 25 not out, Fletcher 9. The man out was Tom Cant, who went for 78. He went when the score was at 78, and he made a nice 58 in his innings. LBW he was to Phillips. So we've got Rowley again to bowl here, and he's going to bowl to Parker, who's just in the middle of directing the sight screen operation here to his liking. So it's going to be Rowley, the left armer now, bowling over the wicket to Parker with a slip in place. Loops up, full toss, driven, and it's running up towards the extra cover boundary. It'll beat the fielder and crosses the line now into the gaggle of spectators. And there's a lady down there with the most luminous pink rug over her knees. You think it was getting cold out there. There must be a chill being here out there. We're in the clubhouse here. But 4 more to the total. It's gone to 105 for 1 now. And it's Rowley again who bowls, loops another one up, and he's going to get another 4 here. Yes, that'll beat the fielder out to extra cover. And there's 4 more to the total, and it's gone to 109 now, and 61 now to win. 61 for Tynedale, and there's drinks to come after this one. And who have we got here? We've still got 1 slip in place, as in goes Rowley again to Parker, who's back in his crease and just hits this one up to Burton there at deep mid-on, the left-hander. And he throws the ball back to Rowley now. Rowley in he goes, over the wicket now to Parker, drives a full ball again, and that's nicely fielded in at extra cover there, and there's no run. So we're still at 109 for 1. Parker's moved to 33 with that last scoring shot. And here goes Rowley again now. Loops another one up. Not quite as high this time, but it was full outside the off stump, and Parker rather drags that one, drags the bat across it, and it goes straight back to the bowler with a hard shot there, and he picks it up off the floor. And here he is again now. bowls again. He's there and bowls. And Parker, oh, nice shot. It's beaten May, and it's running up for 4 to the third man boundary. And just lent on that one. Played it very late, and up it went. It beat the fielder, timed as well. And I think there'll be drinks going out now. Yes, there's the drinks going out. And for the break, yeah. So 4 more to the total with that last ball there. So 57 needed now by Tynedale. 113 for 1 they are, needing 170 to win, and we've had 25 overs. At the crease, Dan Parker, still there for his 37. He's been there from the start. And Fletcher, 9 not out. Tom Cant, the man out, he went for 58 when the score was at 78, LBW to Phillips. So 5 bowlers used by Shotley Bridge so far. The 2 umpires there coming across for a drink as well. So drinks are on the field. We'll be back in just a moment. I'll play a little word from our advertisers, and we'll be back in just a tick.
You're listening to Cricket West Tyne program on Spreaker Online and Podcast Radio in association with the Royal Oak Country Pub, Cornsey Colliery, experts in business consultancy, and Cannon Bristle and Dairy Products. Drink well, eat well, do business well, listen well.
And welcome back here to Priors Flat. The decking out there now to our right, quite well inhabited. The picnic tables, there's three down towards the far end. The people have left them now as the players just finish their drinks up here. Dan Parker taking a good drink there, as he's been out there for, I can't remember what time we started here. He'll have been out there nearly a couple of hours, at least, or an hour and a half. An hour and 26 minutes he's been out there. So the drinks are on their way off again, and the players are about to proceed here. So Tynedale, they need, what do they need? 57 to win here. 113 for 1. 1 wicket down. Fletcher and Parker about to face up for the home side again. And it is who's going to bowl now. Just looking up the top end, there seems to be some sort of debate going on up there about who's going to bowl. It's definitely the next over from the top end. Hall's in there having a word. He's with the captain there. May's there as well, and a couple of others. We're going to have Phillips again, are we? Yes, still going to be Phillips to bowl from that top end. He's going to carry on. I think all the tennis players have disappeared as we're about to start the next over here. We've got 1 or 2 in the clubhouse here as well. 1 or 2 spectators, but the phone goes again somewhere. Now Peter Robertson, the umpire, just checks the scorers are back on track, and we're going to have Phillips again. We're going to have 1 slip and a gully, and we're going to have a point and an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket, and a square leg as well. So in comes Phillips to Fletcher, and he lets this one go outside the off stump, and there is no run. It's Hall there in the slips, who just throws that one back, sort of dive bombs one of his mates up there in the offside. Now May has it. He just pops up a little catch there to Phillips, who's about to bowl again. Not so much chirpiness in the field now for Shotley Bridge. 1 or 2 weary looking souls out there. As Phillips is in again now to Fletcher, and he turns this one up towards the fine leg boundary. It's going to be stopped up there though and thrown in. So Fletcher gets another one. He goes to 9, the score goes to 114, and the deficit comes down now to 56. Just coming up to 6:30 here on this Saturday night in Hexham. If you're round about, come in, the bars are open here. If you're round about in the town anywhere, do come in. You'll see the last 3/4 of an hour or so of cricket here tonight. Although we haven't had the sun for about an hour now, it's been pleasant out there as Phillips bowls again to Parker, who hits this one up to mid-off, and it's Burden who picks it up off the ground, and there is no run. For Parker here, we've got more or less the same field, although not square leg, he's dropped out of the circle down to the boundary. So Parker on 37 on strike, first ball of the over, second ball of the over he'll face here. As Phillips in again now towards us, right arm over the wicket, he's in now and bowls, and Parker just defends that one into the offside. That was a good length ball and it lifted as well. Parker managed to get that one down from above his waist there and into the ground. It didn't pop up, but the ball back up at that top end now. 114 for 1. We've got a little lass out there trying to do acrobatics, I think. She's jumping about, trying to do a headstand out there on the boundary. To our right is Phillips is in again now and bowls, and Parker just nibbles at that one outside the off stump, and it beat him all ends up there through to Andrews, the wicket keeper. And just tried to glance at finally, which was a riskier shot, since we got one slip in a gully there and a backward point. But there is a yawning gap between backward point there and straight extra cover, about 25 yard gap there. So driving could be on here for Parker as Phillips is in again. It's short and it's pulled, and there's a flying chance for a catch there in mid wicket, but it's May who's missed it, and it's rushing up towards the boundary, and it goes for 4. And 4 to Parker there. It was a fast ball, it was short, it wasn't too short, but it bounced up and Parker pulled it from outside the off stump, and it raced up to the boundary. But 4 more to the total at the end of the over there. So 118 now for 1, Tynedale, and it's come down to 52. Now the total they need to win this match. Parker's moved to 41 with that last shot, and Fletcher it is who is on 10. And now what have we got for Fletcher in the field here? Still no sun. We've still got overcast conditions here this evening at Priors Flat. We're going to have one slip, a short wide third man, a deep cover point, an extra cover, a mid off, a mid on, a mid wicket, a deep backward square leg at the house end there, and a long leg which is May as well. So Hall is pointing out something up at the top. Fletcher just having a quick look round here. He's spotted a little gap perhaps on the leg side here. That's why he was looking. But Mickey Allen's back on the bowl here now. He's in and bowls, and Fletcher defends this one from just below his waist there into the ground, and it trickles off onto the leg side, and there is no run. And Fletcher just back in his crease now, just getting ready to get set for this next ball now. Here's Allen again now, and he moves, bowling to Fletcher. Fletcher comes forward, and he's played that one up square to cover point. In fact, it went right up the crease line there just about, or just behind, and it was cover point who moved across to his left across at the tennis courts there and didn't save the one. So 1 more to Fletcher. He's gone to 11. The score goes to 119 for 1, Tynedale in the 27th here. The deficit now comes down to 51. 51 needed here for the home side to win this 17th match of the season. And here's Allen going in again now. Bowling to Parker. This time he's edged it, and it's gone through the gap between slip and gully again up to the third man boundary for 4. Just out of the reach of May there, sprawling across to his right hand side. So 4 more to Parker and 4 more to Tynedale. Parker's gone to 45, and the score has gone to 123 now, 47 for Tynedale to win. And Parker just has a little look around the field here, and he's just getting himself into position, and it's going to be Allen to bowl again with 1 slip, and Parker just about sets himself now. Here he comes. Here's Allen in, and Parker gets this one away up towards the backward point boundary at the house end, across to our right here, and he gets a single. He goes to 46 now. The score goes to 124, and now it's 46 needed for Tynedale to win. One slip in place. Getting a little brighter here, just a little bit, mind you. A bit more blue sky above us. As in goes Allen again. Balls now, and Fletcher I think that hit his thigh pad and goes up for 4 anyway. No, it didn't hit anything. 4 byes there. I think it was a slower ball attempted from Allen there, and it deceived everybody. Fletcher didn't get anything on it. Neither did the batsman, Andrews, the wicketkeeper. So 4 byes there. The score goes to 128 now, and 42 needed by Tynedale, with 9 wickets in hand here. 27th over, so the overs are out of it at the minute. Fletcher on 11 on strike now, the right-hander, 1 slip and a backward point, and it's down the leg side, and there's it just whizzes away past with Fletcher trying to play it the way there. And that was the last ball of the over, the 27th over. 27 gone now, 128 for 1 Tynedale, Fletcher 11, 46 to Parker, and it's 42 needed by the home side to win. And 1 or 2 more rugs being taken out down on the picnic benches there. I'm having to look up on the deck and to see what's going on up there. Not a lot. And just 1 or 2 bits of conversation in between balls here. But we're going to have a change of bowling. We're going to have another spin bowler coming on. It's going to be Ross Burden up at the top end. So 6th bowler Greenwell has turned 2 for the visitors here in this innings. It's the evening now. We're just after 25 to 7. If you're going out for a night out tonight, as I know one person is here tonight. We're hoping this cricket gets finished a bit quickly, but here's Burden to Parker now, and Parker just guides that one behind square on the offside, and it's fielded there by Allen in at backward point, and there's no run. Burden around the wicket now, comes in towards us to Parker, back in his crease and guides it away. He's done that one. No, he's not going for the single. Thought he'd placed it a bit better there. So did he. He was off for the single, but sent back by Fletcher at the non-striker's end up at the top there. So Mayer makes his way back to his position there, and here's Burden again. And he just moved away from him there, and Parker was forward and beaten past the outside edge, and Andrews and Hall in the slips there were interested enough. But here's Burden again. He hits it high and long, and he may be out here. May's underneath it, and there's no chance of him dropping that. Parker goes, caught out at deep mid on there, 4 short of his 50. And he was looking for it. He just didn't get enough on that one to beat the tall figure of May out there in the field. And Parker goes for 46, Tynedale 128 for 1. Still 42 runs short here as Parker makes his way off. So it's Crichton, the new bat, going in. The second wicket's fallen for Tynedale. It's Burden who's got it. So Greenwell, an inspired change of bowling there to get a breakthrough. But Parker goes, and he's on his way back in. He looks a little bit disappointed there. Just 4 away from 50. He gets a round of applause there from everybody. They're on the balcony, the changing room balconies, and the players out on the field as well. So 128 for 2, Tynedale. And it's Burden about to bowl again. So the batsman crossed there. It's going to be Fletcher on the strike. We've got one slip. We've got a leg slip in place now, have we? I think the slip may be on the wrong side there. Oh no, we're going to keep a leg slip in place. We've got Fletcher who goes forward this time and pushes it back to the bowler there, just onto the leg side. It's a very close leg slip as well. But Fletcher, the right-hander, he's in and bowls. Burden is, and he just goes back into his crease and turns this. Oh, there's a bit. Oh, that's well backed up. And that was a hard throw in there from in at mid-wicket, and at Crichton's end, the new batsman. But that's the end of the over. No danger, no chaos at the end of the over there. Still 128 for 2. Tynedale, they need 170 to win. They still need another 42 here, and they're 2 wickets down now. Kant was first to go for 58, and now Parker, the last man to fall, for 46. He was caught May and bowled by Burden, trying to hit over the top. And it's going to be Crichton to face his first ball here. And Wrighton, I've just seen a score from Wrighton, but it's the second team there. But we're going to have Mickey Allen to bowl again here. He's about to start from this end, and he's bowling his first ball to Crichton here with 2 slips and a gully. Crichton's forward drives. He's got 4 to start with. What a shot. Nicely guided between just to the right hand of Gully there, and it whizzes up to the left of the scoreboard, crosses the line, and umpire Keith Allen is straight into action there with that 4 from Crichton. So 132 for 2 now, down to 38. The deficit now. Tyndall need 38. Still 8 wickets in hand. We're in the 29th over here. Oh, excuse me. A little tickle in the throat there. But here's Allen again now. He's back at his mark. Now he's going to charge in away from us here, bowling to Crichton. Bowls. Crichton nudges this one again, but he doesn't get that one square enough to get past that fielder in a gully there. So we're going to have 2 gullies now. Second slip's come out. They've seen he likes that shot, Crichton. Just leaning forward and opening the face. So we've got 2 gullies and 1 slip. A first slip, a fine leg. We've got a forward square leg, a mid-off, a mid-on, an extra cover, and a backward point. As in goes Allen again now to Crichton, and he turns this one square again, just opens the face, but it does go deadly square that time, right up the crease line out there towards the tennis courts, and it's picked up in there at cover point, and there's no run. So 132 for 4. Crichton on strike, the right-hander, is 4 not out. Fletcher at the other end, 11. Mickey Allen back for his second spell here. And he goes now, bowling to Crichton. He's there, and Crichton comes forward to a full ball this time and pushes it out to the offside, where it's fielded in at extra cover, and there's no run. It's still 132 for 2 in the 29th over here. 38 for Tynedale to win. We've got 1 slip, the gully, 2 gullies there. Changing the field again, just dropping square leg, who was inside, right on the edge of the 30-yard circle, down to the house end boundary now, so deep square in place. Crichton's just noticed him now. Allen bowls to Crichton, and it's pulled away, and he's split the gap there. He saw that fielder and he's took him on, and 1 bounce for pull shot there from Crichton. He saw him, and he did just catch him in his eye as Allen started his run there, so he split the gap there between deep square and long leg over towards the house end, and good awareness there from Crichton to do that and have the confidence to take it on now. He's gone to 8, and the score goes to 136, and the deficit now is 34 needed by Tynedale to win this match. 8 wickets still for Shotley to take. Allen bowls it again on leg stump, and it's turned away up towards the long leg boundary this time, and Burden fields and throws in. Leg bye signalled there by umpire Allen at this end, and that's the end of the over. The end of the 29th. 137 for 2 Tynedale, in pursuit of 170 to win. Crichton is 8 not out, going in at number 4. Fletcher at number 3, 11 not out. And the men out so far are Kant LBW for 58 when the score was at 78. He was LBW to Phillips, and Parker just moments ago here, 46. Court May bowled Burden for 46, and that was when the score was at 128. Allen, Gibson, Milburn and Rowley are the other bowlers who've had a go, but they haven't taken any wickets yet. But here's Burden again to come in. Spin bowler, right arm coming over the wicket now, bowling to Crichton. Still that leg slip in place. Crichton's forward and he's edged it through the vacant orthodox slip position. It's coming up here towards the third man boundary. There's runs, they've got 2 so far. They'll stop at 2 there. And the score goes to 139, so just 31 it is to win now for Tynedale. Just 31 needed here.
Is Mr. Fennick listening?
And here's the next one. It's pulled away, another 4 there for Crichton, and it's Burden who's on the end of the punishment this time, and the deficit now comes down to 27 needed for Tynedale. 143 for 2. 27 needed here for Tynedale to win this match. The ball comes back up now, and it's with Burden up at the top end. So we've got the leg slips out now, and he's into first slip as Burden's in again. Another pull shot, and it's not beat the fielder this time at backward square leg there. And Crichton, he replays that shot in his mind, and he is a very good leg side hitter. Anything beyond the straight he can put away. But here's Burden again now. Bowls one outside the off stump, and he didn't see that one cut back into him, did Crichton, and it just came off the inside half of the bat with him playing out towards extra cover there, and ran out onto the onside where it's fielded in at mid wicket. But he's on 14. He's still 143 for 2. Crichton's back this time and playing both sides of the wicket here. Played that one late, almost off his stumps there. Nice little cut, but it just rolls straight up to Rowley there at backward point, and there is no run. So here's Burden again, and he comes towards us here. Crichton tries to pull away again, and they'll get 1 run here, and it's thrown up towards the bowler's end. A leg bye signalled by umpire Robertson that time. So that was the end of the over, the end of the 30th there. 144 for 2 now, Tynedale. Crichton 14, Fletcher 11, and it's 26 needed here for the home side to win this match. Stacey Lavery, and if you heard the voice before shouting, I don't know, somebody trying to give a shout out to one of his mates down in must be somewhere that he hopes listening in here. But we're going to have a change of ball in here. From this end, Milburn coming back, is he? On, I think so, yes. He's coming back on at this end. And we're going to have Crichton on strike, 144 for 2. Crichton 14 not out. Looks to have settled in early doors here. But here he is now. 1 slip in place still. We've got backward square leg, we've got a deep square leg, close mid wicket, mid off, mid on as he bowls the first one, and that's hit him on the pad, and big appeal there from Milburn, but he was the only one that really went up there, and umpire Allen not moved by that one. And now here's Milburn again, just settles down. Here he goes, turns now and runs in to Crichton. Crichton's back and cuts this one, but it's gone straight to the fielder there at backward point, and a little misfield. The ball squirts off away from him, allows Crichton through for 1, and he goes to 15. The score goes to 145 for 2, and the deficit now comes down to 25 needed here for Tynedale with the 8 wickets in hand, and Fletcher just pushes this one back up towards the bowler here, back towards us, and it's picked up, no problem at all there. And here's Melbourne again, bowls to Fletcher. Fletcher back in his crease this time, defends it back down the pitch. Melbourne hardly has to move there to pick that ball up. There's the same little lass out there who was doing the acrobatics, runs across with a bag of crisps for somebody, and there's Fletcher. A nice shot through. Oh, it's running up towards the boundary through backward point there, and Fletcher's going to get 2, and that's him back safely enough up to the top end, and the score goes to 147 for 2. The deficit comes now down to 23 needed by Tynedale. Nice little shot there from Fletcher, just stood back in his crease and played it, lightly played it through that position, and he tries the same to the leg side this time, but it doesn't get very far. And It's thrown in, and that's the end of the over. So there we are, Tynedale 147 for 2. Still 23 short of the target to win here, but we've had 31 overs now. They've still got 8 wickets in hand. So it's going to be Burden to take on the duties again up at the top end and take up the attack here. We're going to have Crichton on strike. He's the right-hander, and it's going one slip in place, and Burden's coming in now to bowl over the wicket. Crichton pulls away again, and it may reach the boundary. Yes, it's beaten the fielder. He hit that one hard enough to beat the deep square fielder there, deep backward square. So 4 more to the total. That takes it to 151 for Tynedale, 150 up for the home side there, and 19 now to win for Tynedale, just in the 32nd over. So there's plenty to spare here as Burden comes in again now and bowls, and Crichton's forward. The most defensive of defensive shots there out under the offside. A big stride, high left elbow, just smothered it in, got that shoulder round outside the off stump and smothered it into the offside. But here's Burden again now, he bowls. Crichton just knocks it round the corner for 1, and Fletcher will have to scoot. Oh, there's a direct hit, and no, Crichton was in, and a direct hit at the non-striker's end there from backward square leg, but Crichton had made his ground for a single there. So 18 now to win for Tynedale, 152 for 2. Crichton's gone to 20, and Fletcher on strike with a slip there from Burden, and he just plays that one down into extra cover, and there's no run. And there was a bit of now he's going on. Did you see what happened there?
The little girl fell over.
Oh, and Burden again now to Fletcher, and he turns for 1 in front of mid-wicket there, and that's nicely run. Good running there from Fletcher, spotted that one quickly up to the top end, and he goes to 14, and the score goes to 153, and now it's 17 needed, and here's Burden again. He bowls outside the off stump this time, and Crichton lets it go, and there is no run. And that was the end of the over there as well. I was just looked down for a minute there. The end of the over, the end of the 33rd, I think that one was. I don't know, I think so. The board hasn't changed yet. But Tynedale needs 17 here to win. 153 they've got to Shotley Bridges, 169 for 9 in their innings. Still 8 wickets standing here for the home side, and it's going to be Fletcher on strike with a slip in place. We've got 2 close mid-wickets now, have we? Yes. One very, well, he's come back now, so he's gone into the mid-on position. We've got a close straight mid-wicket, a deep square leg as Fletcher faces Milburn, the spinner now. Over the wicket he goes, and Fletcher just pushes the ball back to him on the leg side here. Just, mind you, the ball just ran off the pitch there. It was a full ball and just dug out by Fletcher, slowly enough. And here's Fletcher again now, about to face Milburn. He's there and bowls, and it's driven high over the head of mid-on here, and it's Phillips who's going to have to chase, because I don't think it's going to go. It's not going to get there. Fletcher's got 2. He's coming back for 3, and yes, he gets 3 there. 156 for 2 now. 3 off. 14 needed now for Tynedale to win here. 14, and Fletcher's gone to 17. 156 for 2. And it's Crichton on strike, 1 slip. Milburn bowls. Crichton plays out to the offside for no runs there. It's picked up at extra cover, and really 1 or 2 weary faces and bodies out there now for Shotley Bridge. 1 or 2 look like they just wanted to be over, but Milburn bowls flatter this time, and it's run off the face up there to short third man by Crichton, and there's no run. And the score remains at 156 for 2. 14 to win now for Tynedale. Crichton on strike. Milburn bowls flatter, and Crichton glides it away to that offside again behind square, but it goes straight to that fielder there, who's moved round to a deepish backward point now, and he fields that one. 1 ball left in the over here, the 33rd. As Crichton, oh, he went to hit it. He's missed everything, has it? Byes called, yes, 4 byes there to Tynedale. He went for a big drive, it was a full toss and it dipped on him, missed it. Andrews, the keeper, missed it, and first slip missed it. So at the end of the over, 4 more to the total there, and now just 10 for Tynedale to win. 10 for Tynedale to win against Shotley Bridge here, and they've got 8 wickets left standing. And 1 or 2 of the spectators starting to pack up down on the bankside now, the Shotley spectators. The summer chairs are going away, the rugs are being packed away. The picnic basket's been loaded up. There'll not be much left in them this afternoon. Been here quite a while now as we push on for 7 o'clock here this Saturday night here on Cricket West Tyne. As Burden it is to start the new over to Fletcher. Fletcher nudges it for 1 to backward square leg and they get it. And he scampers up there. He's not given up yet, Fletcher. He's not gonna be lax and he's running. He wants to finish not out here. 161 for 2. 9 to win now for Tynedale. 8 wickets in hand, and we're in this is the 34th over. Crichton lets this one outside the off stump from Burden. Andrews gathers safely enough, and there's no run. Got 1 slip. We've got a point. We've got a deep extra cover, an extra cover, a mid off, a mid on, as Crichton launches this one up over mid off, and it's 1 bounce for 4 at the top end there. So 165 now. 5 to win for Tynedale. Crichton moves to 24 with that one. And will we see another boundary here? Crichton pulls away, and yes, he'll get a 4 pulled through mid-wicket to the tennis court. So the scores are level now. Just 1 for Tynedale to win. Crichton has moved to 28 and he's kept these last 9 for himself. If he can get this one away. If he can get some bat on it. 1 slip. All the Shotley fielders gather in now inside the circle. 1 to win here. Crichton, he's chipped it. Oh my word, he nearly was out. Caught at mid-wicket. He just sort of tried to dab it for 1 in the gap there. And it just fell short of the fielder there at mid-wicket. So he's having a look down there. That's where it's going to go, if anything. A pulled shot for 4. Faster one, and it struck him on the pad and he still hasn't scored. Yeah, that was a faster one from Burden, and it goes out to the offside, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. So 169 for 2 Tynedale. They need 1 to win here. Crichton 28 and Fletcher 18 at the moment. Ollie Fletcher up there. The 2 men out. First wicket fell at 78, that was Cant LBW to Phillips, and the second Dan Parker for 46 at 128. Courtmay bowled Burden, trying to drive over the top there, but Milburn's about to bowl again. In comes the fielders, they're all in now, inside the circle. Fletcher for the winning runs here, and they're not going to get it with that little push shot out to square leg there. So Crichton it is. He's not going to keep all these 9 to himself, these last 9, as Milburn's in again now. Fletcher back, and has he got it on off the back foot, a drive there, but he hasn't. It's fielded in at extra cover, and there's no run. So 1 to win, 169 for 2 Tynedale here. Milburn over the wicket he goes, bowling to Fletcher, and he's driven it, and they've got it this time. They come through, and that's it. Tynedale have won by 8 wickets here at Priors Flat tonight, and the umpires there all come in and gather the stumps. All the players shake hands out there, and they finish at 170 for 2 Tynedale, playing Shotley Bridges at 169 for 9, and they've done it with more than 15 overs to spare here, Tynedale. So well done to the home side here. They make a bit of ground in the table up on Ashington there, although they had a low score to beat Linz today, to get to beat Linz today. But we'll see how the table goes. Tynedale win here tonight. Shotley suffer another defeat, their 3rd of the season, up there in 2nd place. And Swalwell were all bowled out for 90 today. I don't know the result from that match yet, but there'll be some interesting results today. Worth a look tomorrow in the paper. But don't forget, Tom Cant will travel off down with Northumberland tomorrow to play Lincolnshire. He'll captain the team down to Lincolnshire in the Minor Counties Championship. Cant, Brown, the two Browns, Hanley, Hewison, McCabe, McGee, Mustard, Quirk, Simpson and Thompson are the team going down. The applause there, just the players coming off. That's the Northumberland game tomorrow. 11 o'clock start, 3-day match there. So that's next week. We're away at Newcastle City. Our next Tynedale broadcast will be away at Newcastle City next Saturday from 2:30 as well. So do join us then if you can. Then our county, Almouth and Leslie the week after that. And then the county game, the Minor Counties Championship game after that one. But from Priors Flat here tonight, I'll say goodbye now with Tynedale winning by 8 wickets, 170 for 2, 50 from Tom Cant, 46 from Dan Parker, 28 from Crichton and 19 from Fletcher. Tynedale win by 8 wickets, playing Shotley Bridges 169 for 9. They scored 170 for 2. So from Priors Flat, speak to you again soon and good night here in Hexham.